You know what I mean?
That's exactly it. It's
like,
not IKEA.
It's not IKEA. So let's not get too Nordic.
Yeah.
All right. We're in Canada here.
Yep.
Speak the language or get out. Tastes so goddamn good.
Yep. Anyway, the Nina, the Pinta, and the Prairie Dawgs podcast.
Hell yeah.
That's us.
That's us.
Thanks for checking us out, man. Episode 1.
Episode 1.
It's very brave of you. You got a lot on your plate right now.
Honestly, a lot going on in the world. What is going on in the world?
A lot.
A lot.
That's what I just said, dude. Are you
on in the
even
world.
listening?
Sorry, bro. Oh, God.
But thanks for picking us, man. Adding us to the rotation. Bump something else out, dude. Kick something else out of your rotation.
Yeah.
Call her daddy. The Pizza Review podcast.
Delete one of those and add this one. All right. Joe Rogan, you still listening to that? It got boring, didn't it? Mm-hmm. Delete it and listen to us, you know? We're smoking DMT.
Yeah, there is DMT pen on site. And if you want us to do it, we'll do it.
This coffee cup filled with ivermectin, okay? Mm-hmm. You don't need Joe Rogan anymore. We got that covered, so you're good.
And this is Malort.
Yeah.
It's a couple of Malort and milk, actually. Yeah. So
cool.
But yeah, thanks for checking us out, man. It's the #1 prairie podcast in the world.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
What does that mean? I think it might be the only prairie podcast in the world.
No one else is brave enough. They say too regional, too specific. We don't think so.
We don't think so. We think prairie's a big place.
There's a lot to be learned. There's a lot of great stories, a lot of great people. I think we aim to be entertaining and educational. Edutainment.
Edutainment. Infotainment.
Yeah, like Miss Rachel. You know the nice teacher lady on YouTube?
Miss Rachel?
Yeah, she's like a YouTube lady. I think stems from COVID. And she was just like a nice lady that started on YouTube being like, blueberry yum yum, I'm here for your kids. Or whatever. I've never really watched it, so that's probably not quite right. But she's like,
unsubscribe.
Yeah, and then she's like very, very popular now. She's on Netflix and stuff because the kids love her.
She's on Netflix. Holy shit. Okay.
Yeah.
She's like the new Blue's Clues type.
A little bit like that. Sure. Educational for the kids, but it's like that, but you're grown up. You can be. You don't have to be. You can let your kids listen to it too.
Yeah, sure. Kids, leave the room. I'm listening to, what's her name? Miss Blue?
Miss Rachel.
Miss Rachel.
Yeah, Blue's a different guy. And there's also Bluey, which is an Australian dog.
Yeah.
But all the episodes are like, oh, daddy's got depression. Like they're all like very adult themes. Like they're one of those shows where it's good for the kids.
Yeah.
But the parents watch, and at the end of the episode, it's like, why are you crying, mommy? And it's like, oh, the dog was an alcoholic, just like your father. Yeah. So it's got an undertone.
Nice. Sick. Yeah. This is Prairie Dawgs. I'm not sure. We're pretty much just a podcast about the prairies. What would you, if you had to describe this podcast to this guy watching right now, what would you say this podcast aims to do or will do or will not do?
We're gonna give you good riffs, good laughs, and you're gonna learn something. You ever listen to a pod on Jack the Ripper? Or fucking Joe Dingley. He's a banker and he did something to his wife. Of course he did. You listen to that shit all day, every day. So this will be like that, but it's funner.
Yeah. Hey, dude, I'm down. People dying. I'm laughing. Let's go.
I think so. And here's what we don't aim to be, because we should also say this. I'm Tyler.
I'm also Tyler.
But we're not trying to do this, oh, I'm Leroy, he's Leroy thing.
We're both Leroy.
Yeah, we committed great harm to those guys, and they're no longer with us. So, yeah, we're not trying to make a mockery of the prairies. We're just trying to show you some cool stuff that we think you'll like and laugh at.
So take it easy, okay?
Yeah, we're not going to be on the side of a highway pointing it like, look, it's a big spoon on the highway. Anyway, like and subscribe. And then ask you for $10,000 to do your company function. We're not going to do that.
No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Check out this rock. Pay me.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's a goose. Cash App or Venmo.
Yeah. We were actually talking before the camera started rolling about just some of the insane ways that either TikTok stars, Instagram stars, or YouTube people are making money with the content that they're doing. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to, reinvent sliced bread in terms of content, but some people out there are literally taking the tape off windows and are making a lot of cash doing this for a living. Their living is taking tape off And I watch the videos. It's paying off.
Because there's something underneath the tape is what makes it satisfying.
Yeah.
If you took off the tape and it was the same thing underneath, what makes it nice is it's like a painter did it or something. So that's what we're going to do, but like kind of like it with our words.
Totally.
Picture it like that.
Totally. It's going to be oddly satisfying dialogue.
That's what it is. And if not, what we're going to do is on top of the video on YouTube, we're just going to overlay guys doing that.
Yeah, 100%.
Kind of keeps your attention.
Yeah.
While you watch.
Totally. Like those those TikTok videos where they split the screen in half, and on the top half they're saying something that you may or may not care about, but on the bottom half someone's popping a balloon filled with Jello, and your senses are just getting tag teamed, so you don't know what to do, so you watch the content.
Yep. I like those ones. What's your favorite one? Favorite style of satisfying content?
Yeah, I think we were talking about this before. I like the guy who just fills up balloons with different colors of water and then drops them on boards filled with nails, and then it explodes. Or the guy who fills up glass bottles filled with beads and then rolls them down the stairs until they explode. Oh, that's a really
good one. Yeah.
Yeah, really good stuff.
I like the guy that does like, it's a big vat of water and then he's got 2 syringes filled with like blue and yellow water.
Oh yeah,
and he
yeah.
Squishes them both into the big vat, and you go, "What color is it going to be?"
Oh man, it's
so
green.
Good. There's a kid on Instagram who does like those split screen videos where it's like him on the bottom, and then the top video is like the guy doing that, and he goes, "Oh, all right, guys, thanks for watching. I wonder what color it's going to be. I think platinum sea foam." And it's like very specific colors, and he's always dead on. He goes, "Oh, I got it. Like and subscribe."
Holy cat, it was platinum sea foam.
Yeah, it's really good. And in the comments, people are like, "Does he think we're fucking what he is?
Really? Yeah, exactly.
Does he think we are what he is?"
Yeah, I'm not that. I'm not what you were.
Nice try, pal.
Yeah. I honestly, and those videos get me, dude. I'll be up. I have work the next morning, and I'm up till like 3 a.m. watching this guy roll down a glass of Chardonnay down the stairs to see when's it gonna break.
Yes, yeah.
It's
and
crazy.
when it breaks, how will it look?
Oh man, it spilled.
Yep.
Once it broke, the juice came out.
That's why I need those like palette cleansers. Like that video you sent me once, I think it would make sense that it was you, but it's like a big tower kind of like crumbling or something like that. Like it's a demolition site or something of that nature. And then about halfway through, it just cuts to black and says, "Go to bed, Tyler."
Yeah, that's right.
Dude, yeah, maybe I should. You're right.
Yeah,
Fuck,
right.
dude, damn. I got to get off of here.
I was watching that yesterday where someone was pouring lava on a crate of eggs, and right before the lava got to the eggs, it just like zooms out to a guy looking at his phone, and then this epic music hits, and it's like, "You were meant for so much more." And I'm like, relax. Sad. I'm watching some videos.
They're meant to be like, I don't know if they're trying to be funny or if they think they're being sort of artsy, but it is a little bit of both. Like whenever I get one of those videos, I go, "Fuck, man, I'm gonna be a doctor."
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going back to school, man.
I know. I used to think that too, that like, man, if I just put my phone down, holy cow, like I would do a lot of, no, I wouldn't. I'd be sitting staring at the wall, or I'd be like,
putting your phone down only helps you get big like a fucking prisoner.
Yeah.
Because now you just don't have distractions, but all the info is on there. That's where you get smart.
Honestly.
That's where brain go gym.
Yeah, brain go gym. Go do something. But I spent years, without social media because I'm like, kids today, they're just not seeing the world. So I would be at a bus stop and I'd be like, no, I'm going to drink it in. It's like, what are we drinking in? We're at a bus stop in Winnipeg. There's a couple
stop.
Yeah. There's a couple of diapers. There's a man with severe mental issues beside me trying to do his drugs. And everyone else is on their phone distracted by knowledge.
Only thing you can drink in at the Winnipeg bus stop is perhaps actual alcohol left behind by someone else at the bus stop.
Yeah, that's the only thing you're drinking in.
Can I have some of that or no? No, it's yours? Okay. No, you're right. Don't stab me.
Oh, you're stabbing me? Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
So hey, we're also going to weekly kind of just comb through local general interest events, fun news stories, things that are happening, shaking, kind of all across the prairies. We're going to try not to focus too hard on Winnipeg, but that will be, you know what? Fuck off, Regina.
Yeah. We're from Winnipeg. What the fuck do you want
We'll cover
from
you
us?
too. Maybe we'll get a correspondent at some point. We'll get a Regina correspondent that can we'll just throw him in the corner.
has to live in Regina.
once a month. Yeah, I mean, they'll already live there, so we're not going to pay them or anything, but they
totally.
can just pipe in with their stories if they want it so bad.
Yeah, we're not going to send a guy there. He's going to blow his brains out after 2 weeks.
Yep.
Okay.
This is a fun one from this week that I saw on Reddit. I don't know if I want to. There's a lady talking about a bad experience at a salon.
Oh, yeah.
And she's saying that she's been to the salon for years, always had a great experience, until her most recent visit, where the owner was loudly making extreme right-wing anti-Canada and pro-Trump comments, including some racist remarks, and was actively trying to get others in the salon to agree with her. It made me incredibly uncomfortable, and I've decided not to return, as I don't want to support a business that aligns with those views. Has anyone else had a similar experience at the salon? Also, does anyone have recommendations for a salon? So that's awesome.
That is great. That is classic Winnipeg, having a haircut ruined by political views.
And there's no more captive audience than like you sit down, you start to cut the hair, and then you go, immigration's getting out of hand, huh?
Totally. Because now they can't move. Yeah. They have to listen until the hair is done.
Exactly.
It's a brilliant move.
If they're like, oh, I think you're being a little bit heavy-handed, you just go, I'm sorry, you said bowl cut? You said bowl cut when you came in, right?
Oh, take a little more off the top? Okay, cool. That's what I thought.
You said you wanted skullet, ma'am?
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah. I'm going to just keep shaving until you agree that the immigrants have to go.
How crazy would it be you went to a salon and then you're like, oh, I'll get my haircut. I'm just like a walk-in or whatever. And the barber came around the corner and she was just right away doing a Chinese voice.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, okay, I guess maybe now I'll leave. But once she gets you pinned.
Once she gets you pinned, that's it.
And then she starts doing a Chinese voice, you'd be like, fuck,
yeah.
I can't go anywhere.
No, totally. That's why I'm glad I'm bald, because I don't have to sit in that salon chair. That really was the worst. I mean, you got plenty of hair. You still do that, I guess, eh?
Well, for now, but I do find that like definitely every time he's like, what do you want me to do? like, what do you want now?
He's just exasperated. He's like, what now?
And I go, but you went to school. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, this is if you were like a doctor and I came in and I was like, my organ's failing.
Yeah.
Just try your best to fix it.
Yeah, totally. Do your best. Do your work.
And if I was also like, I know you can't keep it alive forever. Just do dialysis up here.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
Keep it fresh however you can.
Or even treating them like an artist. Like, this is a canvas. Try to create.
I'm even open to honesty. I don't want him to. I am worried that at a certain point he'll just keep taking my money instead of being like, bro, shave it. You know?
Yeah, totally.
Because I'll keep giving it to him because I'll go, he's like, oh, yeah, I did you up nice.
Yeah.
And I'll just keep giving it to him because he's a nice guy and I like chatting with him.
Yeah. Honesty would be nice. Bro, your hair sucks. And like, I don't see what we can do here.
You know what they should do is if you come in and your shit's really clapped, like you're really just absolutely cooked, the barber should sit you down and then he should just buzz the top of your head, just like real quick before you can say anything. And then you go, oh, what's happening? And then he slaps a piece of fucking cheese on your head. And he goes, that's where you're at.
That's where you're at. Here's your hair.
At first I'd be offended, but then I'd be like, fuck, that's tough love.
That's pretty cool.
Tough
Dude,
love from a barber.
I got the cheese slap.
Yep.
Dude, I honestly, barbers, they'll never be honest with you. I had to hear it from a friend. I was going to barbers for years, and they're like, okay, a little off the top. Oh, you want the fade in the back? Cool, sounds good. And then I would go to my friend, our good buddy, the old ball coach, who eventually said, bro, you're fucking bald, dude. You got to shave it. Yeah. I don't know that's where you're at.
I do think the ball coach would tell a man with a full head of hair to shave his head, though, too.
It's true.
I think he would also do that.
Our buddy coach would just go up to a man with immaculate hair and be like, you look like shit.
He does. He does have a tone that could make just like a tall, handsome man with a good head of hair. He'd walk up and be like, nice hair, bud. And the next day, that guy'd be like, fuck, I have to shave it. I'm a loser.
Yeah, totally. He would shave it, and then he would get depressed and fat because of what coach said.
He'd show back up the next day bald, and coach would be like, who are you? And he'd be like, you told me to shave my head. He'd be like, no, I didn't. I said you have nice hair.
Dude, I said you had nice hair. I said don't shave it. Yeah.
Yeah, that is a tough tone to have, people.
Yeah.
I'm being polite.
Yeah. Shout out the old ball coach, the most, I think voted the most unapproachable comedian 6 years now in a row.
Yep.
Our good buddy.
6 years running.
6 years running. He's got the title.
That's good for them. I'll leave the salon's name out of it we'll wait 3 or 4 episodes before we start getting into defamation and slander.
Yeah.
But
once we need some clicks, we're just going to start calling people out. Mr. Jets TV, Carter Chen.
Mr. Jets TV is fucking online, dude. He's back as soon as he got back out on probation, there was posts like, this guy's buying cameras and asking me if I know who he is. Like, oh, bro, you're going back to jail.
Dude, yeah.
You're going back to jail. I would like to get on Pussy Juice guy. He came up at the show the other day. The guy that he was at like nightclubs and stuff, right? In the washroom, like the bathroom attendant.
Yeah. Oh,
and then he would spray you with cologne and he would go, pussy juice, pussy juice. He was offering the cologne was pussy juice, I guess.
Yeah, we were talking about that here at Ashdown Market, by the way, is where we're filming this. Beautiful Ashdown Market.
Mm-hmm. That'd be a good guy to have on.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear from him just as far as, hey man, is that like your full time?
Yeah.
Are you an undercover? Because our buddy Mike Green was saying that these guys like worked for the clubs as a way to like deter drug use in the washroom, which I had never even considered. I thought these were just good guys that wanted me to get laid.
Yeah.
Because the first time I went to the bar, I didn't realize like they're like, you come out and you're washing your hands and stuff, and they're like, here, have a mint. And you're like, fuck yeah, dude.
Hell
and
yeah.
They're like, here, have some cologne. And they're like, warm towel on your neck. They're like, yeah, they're like fluffing your dick up a little bit.
Hell yeah.
Half hard so you look good.
Totally.
And then I just like left the washroom. So I was like, thanks, man.
Yeah.
And then I went to my buddies and I was like, that guy in there is the man, huh?
Dude, this guy rules.
And they were like, yeah, did you tip him? And I was like, oh, that's why. He wanted money. He wasn't just like a dude.
Yeah, no.
And yeah, I went back in later because, you know, you're drinking, you're pissing, and he was not stoked. He was sprays at my eyes.
Yeah, totally. Shit ain't free, dick.
Yep. He's so the pussy juice guy.
I want to ask you a question, though.
Yeah.
If you were in the barber chair and some guy... Great barber, fantastic barber, best haircut you've ever had. But at some point during the haircut, he says something like, man, them Jews is crazy. Or he says something along those lines. What are you doing?
Yeah, I would be like, haha, yeah, man. Like,
Totally.
I'd definitely let him get a couple jabs in.
Oh, hell yeah.
They could be directed straight at me, and I would just be like, oh, man, for sure.
Yeah, no, honestly.
Because again, like, yeah, don't fuck my shit up.
No.
I don't want, you know, I leave with cornrows.
Yeah, exactly. Don't do anything crazy. And truth be told, I mean, I don't know what this person on Reddit, you know, okay, fine. You don't want to listen to, they got different political takes.
Yeah.
But, I mean, just listen to it.
Yeah.
Who cares?
I
Just
don't care
listen
about
to
that
it.
at all. That's what makes, you should. That's what makes the country great, baby.
Yeah.
Listen to other people that got other shit to say, and you can just go, that's nice.
Yeah.
But at least now you've heard it, and like, you want them to hear you, right?
Yeah.
Your shit's dumb to them, so.
100%. You could leave that barber chair going like, hey, not a bad haircut. That politically, that person's a fucking moron.
Yeah.
But like, if someone was cutting my hair, rest in peace, you know, and let's say they were like Wiccan and they were spending the whole time talking about crystals and a bunch of woo-woo shit, I'd be like, hey, neat. Yeah. Oh, really? Jupiter's in retrograde?
Yeah.
Crazy.
If you look at it as like entertainment, like this person's actually just giving you kind of like a free show while they're massaging your scalp,
yeah.
then it becomes a good value.
100%. Yeah.
Don't take it personal. They don't.
Don't take it personal. It's just politics. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, you just ran into someone that's bad at conversation.
Yeah.
They're not like, hey, you know what I didn't see anywhere in the review? How's the haircut?
Yeah, honestly.
I bet you look good.
Yeah.
I bet you look real good.
You probably looked
You know
great.
what I mean? I
And
bet you can still look at yourself in the mirror with what you've done today.
Totally. And honestly, you probably you need to learn to accept other points of view.
Lose some
lady.
weight.
Get your shit together,
Lose some
lady.
goddamn weight. Now, it could be just like a goofy dude, too.
It could be a goofy dude. Yeah, I called it a lady. I don't know who this is.
Yeah, I just assume that just women have hair. I did say salon, so it could. I guess that's what made me.
Salon
led me
is a
that way.
giveaway.
But men go to salons. Men do lots of stuff. You went to the spa recently.
Your headphone fell out.
I know.
Let's
I was
acknowledge
trying to
that.
be aloof about it, but you did a extreme expression
Yeah,
immediately.
totally. Hey, let's
So
acknowledge that thing that
I couldn't
just
even
happened.
pass it off as intentional.
What was that? That was crazy. I stopped the
You
podcast.
fucking idiot.
Oh fuck! This whole thing is start over. Sorry. Sorry. Yeah. What was your question?
I was saying, yeah, boys do girl stuff. You went to the spa recently.
I went to the spa recently, and let me tell you, it was fantastic. Okay, we went to Thermia.
Yep. Thermia or Thermea? What do you say?
Oh man,
Why do they say Thermea? Why? What makes you? I don't understand those people.
I don't know because we're not calling it IKEA. You
That's
know what I mean?
that's exactly it. It's
like-
not IKEA.
It's not IKEA, so let's not get too Nordic.
Yeah.
All right, we're in Canada here. Speak the language or get out. But honestly, Thermia or Thermea, whatever it is, I switch back and forth.
Yep.
It was fantastic, dude. We went out there for the old lady's birthday yesterday.
Nice.
And honestly, we were terrified going in because if you read the reviews for Thermea on Google, the Google reviews, people they're getting eviscerated right now. They're like, this place is a shell of what it used to be, dude. They're overbooking. Ringworm is rampant. There's no clean towels. And we were like, holy shit, dude. We're about to get ringworm, and there's going to be a shit ton of people there. We went there, not a lot of people, minimal ringworm, and just a great time overall. So people need to chill out on the reviews sometimes.
And the ringworm they did have was delicious. It was so good. It was some of the best ringworm I've had.
Dude, Nordic Scandinavian ringworm, grilled with the asparagus. It was delicious.
Maybe that's part of the trick, is to write reviews saying this place blows, and then you get like a nice calm weekend there. Everyone's like, they got ringworm. They found a rat in the pool, but they didn't.
Honestly.
You're the rat.
Yeah,
you're the rat. Yeah,
you're the rat.
That would be good.
Some guy had ringworm and he walked into the dry sauna and started jerking off the whole time. And then no one goes. And then you're the guy with ringworm in the sauna.
Allegedly. So what do they got there? It's like you just kind of hang out, right?
You kind of hang out.
It's like a library. You're not supposed to talk.
You're not supposed to talk. You're supposed to keep quiet, which was actually one of the only downsides yesterday.
Bringing the lady there every day. Babe, can't talk here. Babe, quiet.
Sorry. Those are the rules. I want to listen to you.
No, we live here now.
I can't. Yeah, you walk in, they give you this little fancy bracelet to get your locker. They give you a big bathrobe. They give you a little towel. And then you walk around. They have a cold pool. They have a medium pool. And then they've got a hot pool. That's true. They've got a cold plunge pool. They've got a regular pool. And they've got a hot pool. And then they've got a dry sauna. They've got a wet sauna. And you're just going from room to room.
What are those differences? That's like a dry heat, wet heat?
Dry heat, wet heat. Either way, you're sweating. But the wet sauna... That's like a steam. Like you're in the middle of a goddamn
UFC fighter style.
Honestly, dude. Okay. And it's one of those saunas. I mean, we walked out of there and then another guy walked out after us and he walked out. He's like, holy fuck. Because it was just like really, really intense. And then you get there's this room. It's a small room. They've got barrels of salt. And you take the salt.
You eat it?
You start eating the salt.
I'm so dehydrated.
Yeah, it's for you.
I just did a half hour in the sauna. I ate 3 pounds of salt.
Dude.
I have a headache.
Between this ringworm and the salt, I'm not feeling good. I'll be in the hot pool. I gotta piss.
So you rub it, sorry?
You rub the salt over and it hurts and it scratches you and then you bathe it off and that feels good. And then there's another room where it's just a curved bench with a fireplace and people just sit there and be quiet.
That's horrible.
It's
What if someone has you can't even be like, your balls are out. Hey, your balls are out. Shh.
There's no talking. But sir, your balls are out. Shh. Quiet. Again, I'm not going to warn you again.
Quiet now. Don't look at them then.
The balls aren't making noise. You are.
You're making more noise than my balls right now. All right?
Totally. These balls are quiet. These balls are following the rules. But yeah, and then we went to the hot pool, the dry sauna. We walked in there. 2 ladies really were yapping when we got in there. It's silent.
Oh.
And she was like,
did they go?
No. We were sitting there and they were in middle of conversation and they're like whispering, but not really.
Yeah.
They're like, and I told Daryl, I was like, that's just the raw massage. So I went all the way down Ellis and I'm like, how is this possibly important right now?
Whispering is still speaking. That's a misconception.
Honestly.
And it was still speaking.
Yeah. It was like that bullshit whispering too, where they're like, and then I told him because the whispering. I'm like, you're just talk.
Yep.
At this point, just talk. So that was annoying. But then after, I knocked them unconscious and the aide dragged them out of the dry sauna. It was a great time. The food was outstanding.
Interesting.
Extremely expensive, but...
Well, because, what else? They got you.
You're
in there. What else you can eat? The salt? That's why all the salt keeps going. This food's so expensive. I have to eat the salt.
Yeah, totally.
Here's my quick question about the salt.
Yeah.
So you rub it all. It's like a barrel of it or whatever, a bucket. And then you rub it all over yourself. And then where does it go? Just onto the ground? So the room's just like full of salt?
Yeah, the room's full of salt and water. I think it just goes into a drain. That's actually a great question.
Interesting.
Because as soon as I hosed it off my body, I didn't look at it twice.
I would say, I'd probably say like 4 words my whole time at Thermia. I would wait until I was in the salt scrub room. I'd wait until like a real big guy was scrubbing himself with salt, and I'd be like, and then I'd go, "You gonna finish that?" Big laugh. Whole salt room goes nuts. I go, I'm gonna do one more joke in the next room, but then I really gotta shut up.
Totally. Staff going crazy because everyone's laughing. They're like, shh, but they can't help themselves.
Yeah, 2-star reviews rolling in. There was a guy cracking wise in the salt room.
Too many wise cracks, too much ringworm, not enough edible salt.
Yeah, there was some sort of heathen building a pyramid out of the salt in the salt room.
Then eating it. I actually heard a story about this one guy who was doing the salt thing or whatever, and then got liberal with it and went into his nether regions with the salt to try to exfoliate that area. And for like a year,
just circumcised himself.
Honestly, for a year was struggling with major problems in that area.
Dude, because it's like micro abrasions. So it's like, yeah, you can give yourself like, and you're gonna get an infection, have your dick look like in one of those things from The Last of Us. Just fucking.
Yeah, totally. But overall, Thermia, great experience, dude. No complaints. I don't know what the Google reviews are about. Yeah, maybe it was a little crowded there, but like, man, people in the reviews, sometimes they're founded, sometimes they're like right.
Yep.
Other times it's like, bro, you're really picking gnats out of fly shit.
Well,
like,
every review suffers from, you should do this. You should balance reviews in your head by thinking that like people only ever leave negative reviews. Typically, not only ever, good reviews exist, but people are fired up and motivated to leave a bad review. But if you have a great experience, I've had thousands of great experiences at thousands of places that I've never left good reviews about.
That's true.
So if the place just doesn't have a lot of bad reviews, that's a good review for me, you know?
That's true. That is actually true. Actually, that's a great point. I've had fantastic experiences and been like, all right, thank you. Never let them know that.
Totally. So I try to sometimes, at least like in the restaurant, be like, hey, this is really good, or this was really, you guys are killing it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm still not going online. But the complainers are complainers. You'll see a review and you'll click the person's thing, and it's like 10 reviews and they're all negative.
Yeah.
It's all them they only have bad experiences. You never look back and go, why do I always have bad experiences every day, everywhere I go?
Yeah, totally. What's happening?
What are the odds?
Every place I go, it's a 1-star experience.
Yeah. Looks like shit, smells like shit, buddy. You got shit on your lip.
Yeah, bro.
Keep smelling shit all day.
You stink
Have
like
you checked
shit.
your lip? Yeah, exactly. Here's a nice one. Okay, a nice one after some general negativity. This person just wants to talk about how La Pampa has them in a chokehold. La Pampa is like a, I don't want to say they're the wrong ethnicity. Oh, I'm willing to. They're El Salvador. No, I don't know. They're like, it's South American of some kind. They make empanadas. So I don't know. I guess there are different, I think there may be Argentinian, but there's so many different places that make like empanadas, obviously.
South American or Central American?
Hey, I don't know, actually. Are they not the same?
That's a problem that you don't know that.
Well, so what's South America?
I don't know.
All right. So these
Texas? I don't know.
Mexico. So these guys have, they just make empanadas, and this person's just being like, dude, they're great.
Nice.
And also funny to be like, they're like, I had 4 yesterday, and then I just happened to be near the other location, so I had 4 more. It's like, it is, and it's. Yeah, I would, to be clear, I would do the same thing. Like when I get these, I'll get maybe like 12 of them, and then I'll just like eat 3 for like lunch, and they'll have like 3 for dinner, and then by the next day they're gone, and I'm like, that was a good $60.
Yeah.
But you're just not supposed to eat them that way. But that is like how good they are.
Yeah. Sometimes you get caught in a spiral of finding like a new dish.
Yeah.
And for that first week, you're going hard.
Man, that's how I know autism is a spectrum, because everyone experiences that, and that is an explicitly autistic experience, is being like, I found a thing I like and I'm gonna wring it dry until I hate it.
Yeah, 100%. I do that with music a lot.
Yep.
I listen to a song, that song's on repeat until I can't hear it again.
I'm almost sick of the new Propagandhi song.
Sure.
I'm like, it's close, because I just got it on repeat. That's why when bands put out a single, I'm like, you got to do the album, because I'm gonna run this one into the ground until you put out the album.
Yeah, until I hate your band and I never listen to you again.
Yep.
Yeah,
exactly.
But yeah, with food too. Like I remember when McDonald's came out with the chicken ranch snack wrap. Yeah.
Fuck.
Sorry, bacon ranch, chicken ranch chicken snack wrap. That's what it's called.
Yep. That was a game changer.
That was a game changer. I got baked. I went there. I got 3.
Yeah,
Okay.
the right amount.
I went home, ate one on the way home. At home, I'm like, okay, I've got 2. This is a good amount. Ate those 2. Still kind of hungry. Went back, got another 3. Okay. Ate one on the road home, had another 2. Went back, got another 2. A total of 8 chicken snack wraps. And this all happened within the span of an hour.
At a certain point where they're like, yeah, drive ahead. Like before you get ordered, just like, go ahead, pull up.
Like, yeah, hi, Tyler. You're okay. More wraps. Okay, cool. How many this time? Just 2? Are you sure? So
no, seriously, tell us now.
Yeah.
Don't come back.
How about we just give you 4 and then you can just save some for later? Yeah, true rascal behavior. But so we sympathize with your La Pampa
But that's
addiction.
nicer. A nice local place that uses nice ingredients. They give you a big ass thing of like chimichurri with it, which is like it's just like chopped up herbs and like oil, and it's like a nice condiment sort of for these empanadas.
Is that the green sauce?
It's green sauce.
Oh yeah,
sort of. Yeah, it's like not necessarily a sauce, I would say, but it's like
green dip.
Green dip, herbaceous or herbaceous?
Herbivoraceous.
Herbaceous, right? Why would it be herbaceous?
Herbivore.
So
herbivoraceous.
Because there is a V in there too. Anyway, check out
the podcast.
Check out La Pampa. That's a nice one.
Okay.
That's a nice thing that you can check out.
Yeah, shout out La Pampa. Where are they?
They are on St. Mary's and they're on Grant.
Oh, okay, sick.
2 location.
On Grant. Okay, cool.
2 location across the nation.
Nice. Okay. Sick.
By nation, I mean exclusively Winnipeg.
Nice.
Yep.
Hales, yeah. Nice. I should go check out that place. I really fuck with the Winnipeg cuisine, actually.
Mm-hmm.
All of Winnipeg is actually known for its cuisine. We got a buddy who recently went to Toronto, and correct me if I'm wrong, any Toronto people watching this, but he says that your cuisine, not great. It's not
ass and dick, he said, and balls.
It's not good. It sucked shit, I think were his exact words.
Yep.
And Winnipeg
and he was mostly being
it.
racist, I think, when he was saying that. But
he was racist. He doesn't like any food prepared by people who are not Mennonites.
Yeah.
But even Bill Burr mentioned on his podcast one time that Winnipeg, outstanding cuisine. I think he went to the Tallest Poppy and got their chicken and waffles.
Tallest Poppy rocks. I don't know. I don't know if
now.
they're still slinging them out of the back door, but they closed the actual restaurant.
Yeah.
And that was a loss, dude. That was a real blow. It is hard to. It kind of shows no matter how successful you are to some degree in Winnipeg, it's just hard to keep the ball in the air.
Hard to keep the ball afloat. They were critically esteemed. I'm not sure if they had enough volume coming in every day, but you think they would.
I mean, I was there like the little Pampa guy eating 3-4 times a day.
100%.
Filling me up with chicken and waffles.
Chicken and waffles were deadly.
Jewish chicken and waffles.
Jewish chicken and waffles?
That's what it was. I think it was a Jewish business.
It was all kosher?
Well, I don't know about that. I don't think those are necessarily tied together.
Should we be talking about this?
Yeah, why not? I'm willing. I was pointing out to someone the other day with we were driving past I guess like maybe Rady, it was like the community center, the Jewish community center. And he was like, what is that? And I was like, that you're not going to believe this. That is literally Israel. We're hiding it. Actually, that's the whole part of the plan. We're part of, they go, we'll never find it here.
Yeah. They'll never find us here.
But yeah, it was a Jewish owned business, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Which is kind of interesting because I wouldn't have thought of that as like, that's like a Jewish dish necessarily.
Why not?
I don't know. Because it's black. What do you mean? That's what I don't know. That'd be my default answer.
Yeah, totally. Well, that is, I mean, yeah.
Jewish people are black too, though, man. I've been getting into the black Israelites lately.
Yeah. Well, it's like I went to.
Cool dudes.
I remember those guys.
Cool dude. That's what I mean.
Yeah, totally. They would film YouTube videos of them in like Times Square just yelling at people.
Yeah, and then Kyrie Irving saw that and he was like, "Fucking hell yeah, dude!"
Is he one of them?
Yeah, like I think those are the guys that he first saw that he was kind of like, "Okay, hold on, my third eye is open now."
Yeah, totally. That's what their whole mission is to open people's third eyes to reveal the fact that they're Jews.
I don't care as long as I get better at, because then he was like, feels like he got better at the sport. So I'll do any sort of like, if you advance me in my creativity, I'll do. Yeah, I'm Black Israelite too.
Yeah, totally.
I'm getting into it.
I'm Black Israelite. Am I funnier now?
Yeah.
Cool.
Just culturally though, not racially, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm culturally a Black Israelite.
Yeah.
You can do that. A lot of people don't realize you can do that.
Like you and I could convert to Judaism, right?
Yep.
And we would be Jews.
Yeah. Like Tom Arnold did that.
Tom Arnold's Jewish.
Yeah, he converted when he married Roseanne, I think.
Roseanne's Jewish.
I hope so. Otherwise, he was just doing it as like a bit.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I could just be saying stuff, honestly. Feel free to, we can maybe get like a lie counter in the bottom left or
Dude,
something.
get in the comments if this is all bullshit because I'm buying it.
This is
and
all
I'm liking
this is
it.
all engagement and rage bait. I just want
Yeah,
people to.
totally.
It's actually not. I don't want people to say that. He's trying to get us to comment. I am just dumb. I'm willing to just say stuff that's wrong.
Get in the comments if A, Tom Arnold was a Jew,
Yep.
and B, Roseanne Barr was in fact black.
And then what about Jesus? Was he Jewish? Sound off in the comments below.
Totally. Jesus, Jew or not?
Adam Sandler should come back with a Hanukkah song.
Yeah.
Maybe not the right time for it culturally, but I feel like it would be a hit.
Yeah. Is he still funny, Adam Sandler?
Yeah.
He is? Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
he rocks.
Because, he is funny. But when I watched his special, the only thing that really stood out was his heartbreaking tribute to Chris Farley.
In the first special or the new one? Does he do it again in the new one?
I don't know
The
if he
new
does
one,
it
I
on-
found the new one, or the one, the 100% fresh.
Yeah.
That one rocked, I thought. It was pretty good. Had silly little songs.
Interesting.
And then, the song at the end was sad, and you're like, oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Forgot about your pal.
Totally.
But I hadn't seen the new one. But I like him. I think he's earned enough goodwill to just kind of like do stuff that he finds fun.
He's done more than most comedians will ever hope to do.
Yeah.
So
Because that first run of 3-4 movies was incredible, obviously.
just an incredible run.
And then he did some rom-coms that might have been overlooked by the hardcore, why isn't he doing the goofy poo-poo stuff anymore type fans.
100%.
But they were lights out.
No.
50 First Dates is so funny.
100%.
Very,
Punch
very funny
Drunk
film.
Love, really good movie. That's a film, dude. And he's a good actor in there. Adam Sandler's got acting chops.
And he did some serious stuff too. Was he in Rain on Me or Rain Over Me with Don Cheadle? Or am I imagining that? Or it's a movie where
No.
he lost his family. There was a lot of movies around that time where it was a sad movie, and then at the end you just find out that 9/11's involved somehow.
Yeah, that's right.
That
That's
was
exactly what it was.
It was a pretty Robert Pattinson had that one where it's it's not a rom-com, it's a romance type, it's a love story, I should say. And then at the end he's he looks out his office window and you pan out to see that he's in one of the towers.
Oh, really?
And you're like, what the fuck is this,
What-
dude?
Why is that necessary?
And so there was a whole bunch of movies doing that at the time, and that's a couple of them.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he did that one. He did Uncut Gems was serious.
Yeah, he rocks.
He's great. Yeah. Shout out Adam Sandler. Get in the comments if you are Adam Sandler.
That's exactly what I was going to
Okay,
say.
sick.
Yeah,
All
hell
right,
yeah.
all right.
Yeah, sound off in the comments below if you're Adam.
Yeah. Hey, Adam. Hi.
Hey, man. Yeah, he's got nothing to offer. A lot of people probably want to pitch him stuff and tell him stuff. And we're just hey, man,
Hey.
just say what's up in the comments. We have nothing else to ask of you or pitch you at all, really.
Totally. Just saying, hey, Adam.
Yeah. Hope you have a good birthday.
Yeah. Cheers, bro.
What time are we at?
40 minutes.
Dude, let's fire up a story.
Today's story.
That's another part of this great pod. So you've come this far. That's what you can expect, roughly. Different events and people and stories each week as they come up, as they happen. And then we like to cap it off with kind of an interesting story that is from the prairies.
Yeah.
That you may not have heard of. Or maybe you have, and we're just going to tell it our way.
100%. Prairie lore, I think. Are we calling it that?
Yeah, we can call
we're
it.
not calling it anything, I guess.
Yeah, it sort of is prairie lore, I guess. These are stories that make up our community, really.
Yeah, the tapestry.
The tapestry, the rich tapestry.
Tapestry.
Who doesn't love a rich tapestry?
Get in the comments if you like rich tapestry.
Get in the comments if you are a guy called Rich Tapestry. Get in the comments. Okay, so this is a fun guy. I just found out about this guy. I don't know a lot about him, so we're going to learn about him together because I thought that'd be kind of fun. This dude's called Ken Leishman, maybe Leishman. It's Leishman. Speaking of,
Man.
and so he's from Holland, Manitoba. So it's not even necessarily a Winnipeg specific story. Born 1931, ended up passing away in 1979, age 48.
48.
Yep. So a good little life. So this guy, as per his Wikipedia, Kenneth Leishman, also known as the Flying Bandit or the Gentleman Bandit. He was a criminal responsible for multiple robberies between 57 and 66 and was the mastermind behind the largest gold theft in Canadian history.
Oh, shit. From Holland, Manitoba?
From Holland, Manitoba. And this record stood for over 50 years until it was surpassed by a heist in 2023, the Toronto Pearson Airport heist.
Yeah.
So after being caught and arrested by the RCMP, he managed to escape twice before being caught and serving the remainder of his assorted sentences for crimes.
He escaped twice?
Twice.
From prison?
From, let's say, captivity.
Okay,
we'll find out. We'll find out a little bit further down, I'm sure. I know about as much as you do at current time. But yeah, he's born in Holland, Manitoba. It says he came from a troubled home, but I mean, in the 30s in Manitoba, it's like, what does that mean?
100%. And that's like a farming town, I think. So that was...
As many were in that,
depression.
Yeah, totally. So it's like, you had to get on the fucking tractor, grow up.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Crops weren't growing at that time. All you did was drink and beat your kids.
Yeah.
So
it says he dropped out of school before graduating, which is, again, pretty common for that. Like, I think my grandpa had a grade 5, and then they were like, you can read, that's good.
Yeah, totally. You did it.
Yeah. So dropped out and then married Elva Shields at 17. So just a young...
Kids getting married young back then.
Which was also, because you're going to die by 30. So it's like, you got to get some kids going. It was all about reproducing in that era.
In general, people, just as a quick aside, people grew up really quick back then. If you look at photos, and this is one of those debate things. Did kids look older back then? But like, they did. I bet you this kid looked 35 when he was 17.
Dude, I was literally just talking about that with my mom and how like coming back from the war and stuff like that affected, like some men were 30 years old and they looked 50 because they was just like, they'd been away for 5 years and then they came home and had to just go back to farming.
Yeah, 100%.
You're gonna look a little bit rough.
Yeah,
sort of thing.
You're gonna look a little scuffed after a war.
This guy actually looks pretty reasonable here. Like they got.
Oh yeah, he looks.
I think there's some interviews with him you can actually find on YouTube. So I'd be interested to kind of see this guy's demeanor and his vibe. I'm gonna check it out.
Totally.
So it says sometime in the summer of 51, starts working as a mechanic for Machine Industries, repairing straw cutters in southern Manitoba. So he's a farm boy.
Farm boy.
In 52, he's able to purchase an aircraft. Okay.
See, that's where the economy was at.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
You could buy a plane at like 20, I bought a plane.
A lot of these stories have moments like that where it's like, he was able to buy the manor using inheritance of $13 from his, you're like, what the hell are we doing?
What the hell's going, what planet was that?
Yeah. The first hippo came over because he bought one. Like, that's insane. So he was using it to fly to the farms as needed to work at. He was just flying, I guess, like the single engine in and out to be like, you want your straw cutter fixed? And they'd be like, no, stay away from my daughter and her poop cutter. Need your poop cutter fixed? I'm a good farm boy. So he was making extra money selling rides in the aircraft. So he'd be like, $5, get in, ask grass or cash. And you're like, that's kind of cool, whipping people around in the skies.
Dude, man, if I die, I want to be reincarnated at this time. This guy's just flying in a plane door to door, selling shit and rides.
Door to door salesman via plane is a pretty cool.
100%.
And so at some point in the next 5 years, the Machine Industries ends up closing their doors and he starts working for Queen Anne Cookware. Now he starts selling cookware until they go bankrupt. And that kind of covers the early life section. For occupations is so funny because it has, and we're about to get into the criminal section of his career, but it has occupations: mechanic, door-to-door salesman, thief.
That's nice.
That's the pipeline.
Well, good for, what's his name? Ken?
Ken.
Yeah, good for Ken.
Yep.
Good for Ken.
Kenny boy.
He sold some dishes and he was like, you know what? Fuck this. Let's just steal some shit.
This would be a good, and I'm sure there are movies and stuff of this nature, but there's so many good stories like this from the prairies, from other small towns, but obviously we're talking prairies, that just kind of never see the light of day in the way that they deserve, at least because they're not from the States, so they don't get a Hollywood story because the right guy is not writing a script or whatever the case is.
Yeah, 100%. A lot of forgotten lore just because the right Hollywood executive hasn't turned it into a film yet, especially right here in Manitoba.
Yep.
So this guy starts stealing stuff.
He starts stealing stuff. Now we're into the criminal career. So in 57, by posing as a friend of the manager, robs the Toronto Dominion Bank on the corner of Yonge and Albert in Toronto. Gets away with $10,000.
Big score.
Yeah, that's, I mean, $10,000 cash in 57. That's like $84 million.
Yeah. Literally.
So he accomplished it by meeting the manager to talk about a business loan. And then once they were inside, he pulled out a gun, had the manager write him a check for the $10,000. So not cash, check, which is a funny way to rob.
Wow.
Can you cash this now?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, totally. Just put it in savings. I'm fine.
Do you have TFSA here or no, you don't have that?
No.
So after getting the check, questioning the manager for personal info about himself, his family, his friends, he coerced the manager into taking him to a teller and having the cash checked. Holy, that's exactly what he did.
That's
he had the check cashed, yeah.
Crazy.
By just being like, okay, now cash this for me.
Yeah.
So, okay. So the knowledge gained from questioning him by being like, what's your wife's name? Where do you live? Do you got kids? Yeah. He used that to make it look like he was a friend of the manager. To be like, oh, how are the kids? Yada, yada, yada.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So after getting the money, under the pretense of getting a drink, takes the manager with him to a getaway car and then just like let him go further on.
Oh, pretty
so he gets the money
good.
being like, let's get out of here, buddy. And
Yeah.
throws him in the car and away they go.
Great move.
Yep.
Nice.
Not bad at all.
So the whole time he's got a gun to him, but he's like, hey, what do you want to do? You want to go for a drink, buddy? And the guy's like, yes.
Yes, right after we cash this check,
Yes.
sir.
Yeah.
So 3 months later, he attempts to rob a CIBC on the corner of Yonge and Bloor. Doesn't even move off of Yonge Street, which is
Just
the next bank over.
half a block over. He gets a Jamaican beef patty and then walks to the next bank he sees.
This time, no success. The manager, when he sees the gun, just goes, no. Just goes like, I'm not going to do it, which is crazy. Like, I'll die for this bank.
Yeah, 100%.
So as he tried to escape the bank, he got tripped by a female customer before being tackled by a teller less than a block from the bank, was arrested to 12 years to be served at Stony Mountain,
Oh.
our famous and wonderful penitentiary. Our
Ken
local-
got too cocky. That's an awful sequel.
That's exactly it.
The first one, he's crushing it. He looks like a pimp. The second one, he's just
3 months later, where'd you spend the cash?
where'd you
What'd
spend?
you do?
What are you doing?
Bought another plane, probably.
Yeah, totally.
You know how expensive fuel is? You know how much fuel I spend on my straw cutter?
You know how much money I spent on my poop cutter?
he gets
Crazy.
He gets paroled in 61. So this is 3 years later. And for a time, to support his family, goes back to working as a door-to-door salesman. By 66, however, with his family having grown to 7 children,
Jeez,
the income
Ken.
provided by legitimate work was insufficient. And he needed to find another means of supporting his family, reverting to a life of crime.
Okay. It's a common thread among poor people, even today,
Mm-hmm.
where they're just like, man, how am I going to take care of my family? It's like, okay, well, how about preventatively, you don't have 13 kids?
Some
You know?
guys love crime though. Like my grandfather ended up going to jail for like a pretty, I think it was like fraud, effectively, like Ponzi schemes of some
Cool.
nature like that, like
Sure.
cash fraud. And then just like wasn't around for my dad's entire childhood. And it's not like he did it for his family. He's just like, I love crime.
True.
I love doing crime, dude. Back then it was like fun, I think.
Dude, it's true.
It's like they didn't have video games, so you had to do just like
You had to rob banks.
Exactly.
Yeah. Was that the same grandpa that went to the war?
No, different one.
Different one.
Different one. This one fell down the stairs, bonked his head, died recently.
What? Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, you could do that. Something that didn't even occur to me.
Rip TK's
Yeah,
grandpa.
dude. When they said it happened, I was like, you can do that? I don't know you're allowed even.
You just fall and die?
Never even occurred to me, but it's a long way down. So this brings us to the Great Gold Heist. They call it that. The Great Gold Heist. His most famous robbery. He and 4 accomplices stole almost $385,000. That's just over $3.5 million that's in 2023 dollars. So you're probably a little bit higher than that now. In gold bullion.
Bullion.
Yeah, so that's
Good
like,
word.
That's soup base, I think.
Yeah, gold soup they stole. That's damn, that's a great score,
Yep.
man.
It was being transported by Transair to Winnipeg, where it'd be shipped via Air Canada to Ottawa. So while they're watching the aircraft from Winnipeg International Airport, as a form of inexpensive entertainment, which is still popular, just watching planes take off, watching planes land, he'd occasionally seen gold shipments from Red Lake being flown into the airport. And while incarcerated and Stony Mountain, he formed the basics of the idea. So he had been watching them land, saw that they were doing these shipments, and then when he was locked up, kind of started to be like, I wonder if you could pick one of those off.
Yeah, I was going to ask because he's in Stony Mountain at this time. He breaks out of Stony Mountain?
Not yet.
Okay,
I guess this is the first two. He kind of gets paroled out after 3 years when he gets caught. So I have a feeling the escapes are going to be post-arrest for this.
Canadian justice.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Reform, baby.
Land of the second chance.
So he recruits 4 people to be accomplices in the robbery. Harry Backlund, a Winnipeg lawyer who he had befriended in Stony Mountain, was to provide the financial backing.
Nice.
John Barry and Richard Grenko were recruited to be the ones to actually get the gold, as Ken was too well known to the police to take the gold himself.
Sure.
Grenko's brother Paul was recruited to go to Red Lake in the guise of a salesman to watch for a large shipment to leave. So he was boots on the ground over there to be like, whoa, big load coming, boys.
Okay, yeah.
And then in addition to this preparation, he also prepared fake Air Canada coveralls by purchasing winter coveralls and stenciling the Air Canada logo onto them.
Oh, brilliant,
Just
dude.
simple and sweet.
Ken is scheming. Yep. I like this guy.
So that's the thing, is like, this is like Shawshank level, like
Honestly.
sitting in the cell scheming on like, and then next I'm going to need my boys. Cut to the montage of him like it's a great story.
Totally. Ocean's 11 type shit.
Yep.
Nice.
So lastly, he acquired some Air Canada waybills from the Air Canada desk at the airport by just waiting until the desk was unmanned at lunch and just taking what he needed. Pre 9/11, keep in mind, airports used to be like fucking bus stops. You'd walk in, the guy'd be jacking off. You'd be like, good thing before the flight. Like,
Yeah, get it out of you, boy.
exactly. Get the evil out. Don't want you going nuts in the sky.
Yeah, totally. We need your wits about you, man.
So on March 1st, 66, the lookout from Red Lake called Ken to report a large shipment of gold was coming. Team put their plan in action wearing the fake Air Canada coveralls. Rick and John stole one of the Air Canada trucks, drove it to the tarmac, meeting the arriving Transair aircraft carrying the gold. Pretending to be Air Canada staff, they explained that there had been a change of plans. This is just like classic buffoonery.
No, we changed the plans.
Yeah, they actually want this out right away. They want this gone immediately, so we're going to take it from here.
You actually have to take this to a guy's house now.
Yep. And they had the truck, they had the overalls, they had the waybill, so the people were like, yeah. I mean,
I would do the same.
100%.
I mean, yeah.
You're doing your job, they always tell you if you just do what you're supposed to do, you're not in trouble.
Yeah.
So they have insurance. I mean, I don't know about for stuff like this. It's pretty crazy, but I think they did their job. There's no
100%
wrongdoing by the guards or whatever.
No. I mean, if I'm making let's say minimum wage at that time or whatever, someone's like, no, we need to bring this over here. Look at the paper. I'd be like, yeah, whatever. Fine. Okay. No one's,
Yeah. Well, because especially you're not doing plane stuff. If I was doing the engine, if I was doing the wings, I'd take it dead ass serious. But if these guys show up, they look like the guys that normally do this thing. They have the paperwork these guys normally have. You did it. You tricked me. And that's people get tricked every day.
You get tricked every day. Honestly, if you just walk around with authority,
right,
you'd be amazed at what you can do. You ever seen those videos of those guys who just walk behind the counter of a Wendy's or something?
Yep. So the hard hat videos, just walk into a festival with a hard hat and a clipboard.
Totally.
So I'm just here to check some things out.
Yeah. Everyone just, go ahead. This guy gets free parking all the time because he's like, I'm with Daryl Electric. I got to check the wires out in the break room.
100%. He just pulled one of those.
Yeah.
So the gold was then transferred into his car, just straight up into his car, and then driven to the house of Harry Backlund, the lawyer, who was on vacation with his family. The gold ingots were loaded into his freezer. The plan was to leave the gold there overnight before moving it to a farm in Treeherne belonging to Ken's uncle. But it's a classic. But a blizzard on March 3rd and 4th prevented them from recovering it.
Oh shit!
You got prairied, baby. This is like classic. What was it? Russia when they tried to invade Russia and they didn't realize it was winter.
Yeah.
You're like, oh shit, this is exactly that.
Yeah, exactly. You got Manitoba.
Yep.
Really.
So since Backlund, that's the lawyer, had distanced himself from the robbery, the gold could not stay there. Most of the gold bars ended up buried in Backlund's backyard, but were soon unearthed by a local police force who were investigating all of Leishman's suspected associates.
Oh, snap.
And so to kind of, put a bow on it, it says imprisoned again as a result of this heist and awaiting trial. Ken, assisted by some accomplices, managed to escape from Headingley Jail in September of 66, stole an aircraft from Steinbach, Manitoba, reinforcing his reputation as the Flying Bandit.
Yeah.
He and his accomplices were arrested after a shootout in Gary, Indiana in 75.
What? Hell yeah.
After his release from prison, he moves to Red Lake, Ontario, where that shipment had originated from, sort of ironically, to manage Tomahawk Airlines. I was a model citizen, and it was even nominated as a candidate for Reeve of the Community.
What? Oh, this guy rules, dude. Holy shit.
Unbelievable life. And so here's kind of the kicker. I said that was the bow, but this is really kind of the bow on it. In classic, like, I don't know, this puts him up there with kind of like DB Cooper style.
Sure.
December 14th, 79, he's piloting a Piper Aztec on a Mercy flight when the plane disappeared. Last heard from 5 minutes before it was supposed to land in Thunder Bay. With him on the plane was a patient, Eva Harper, who had broken a hip in a snowmobile accident, and a medical escort, Janet Meekus. And so they initially searched for it for 10 days, couldn't find the wreckage. It's later discovered 40 kilometers north of Thunder Bay on May 3rd, 1980. So some months later, the remains were sent to the Center of Forensic Science in Toronto, where they identified both of the female passengers. However, according to the coroner in the case, the lab was unable to identify Ken as the third victim.
Oh, shit. Ken Leishman's still out there.
He lives, dude.
He's out there for sure.
He was declared 1 year and 2 days after the crash, as you do, just to like tie up the loose ends as far as like, okay, well, he's gone then. No, wherever he went, he's not alive anymore.
He's not alive. He's dead. We're not looking for him is the bottom line.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they just kind of generally say that he became something of kind of a Robin Hood figure, just being that it's like he was just a guy bopping around robbing banks with really no malice other than just like I'm a goofy guy with some schemes.
Yeah. Honestly, it's like a good-hearted, I don't know if good-hearted, but kind of just like a lovable rascal who's robbing banks and stuff like that.
That's exactly it. And it says that in like there's maybe a documentary about him. There is a book. There's a nonfiction book and a play, but otherwise, like, how is there not a motion picture?
Honestly, dude.
And there is some lore locally that although they'd say at the end there that like the police force just recovered all the gold at the end, there's definitely like some local buzzing that like there's some stuff buried still for sure. There was enough gold that like they didn't recover all of it.
Oh man, the Leishman treasure chest.
So you got to look. If you own that property, man, you should be pulling up the backyard.
Yeah. What blows my mind is that he pulls this gold heist. He already robbed the other bank that they caught him for.
Yep. He
goes down to Gary, Indiana. They have a shootout there, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And now he's living life. He still opens his own airline or runs his airline.
Manages an airline. They trust him because it's like, you seem good at it.
Yeah.
All right.
You've flown gold bars. We trust you with our cargo.
Yeah.
And he just lives a normal life.
Just a regular old dude.
Everyone in the community loves this guy. So
yeah,
man.
And there's content on him obviously because he lived. It's not like this is black and white era.
Yeah.
So he's like, there's YouTube content, interviews you can watch with him shooting the shit.
Oh, dude.
Seems like a cool dude. Just kind of like a nice hero of local folklore that did no harm.
No.
But also maybe didn't get his shine he deserved.
No. Flying bandit, gentleman bandit. Yeah. Imagine a polite bank robber.
That's what I mean. A guy who's just kind of like, hey man, how's the wife? How's the kids? How old are they? This and that. And you're like being nice. And then he uses it against you to get cash a check. And you're like, son of a, I thought we were friends, Ken.
Oh, we are friends, but I just need you to give me $10,000 cash. Just write a check and then we'll go for a drink. Like, who knows? Like, he might have actually gone for a drink with that bank manager.
That's what I mean. He seems like a good guy.
Yeah. I'm like, this guy's interesting. He's a character.
Kenny boy. I'd be like, drinks on you, pal.
Yeah.
Just cashed you a big fucking check.
Yeah, no shit.
Cool.
But from Holland, Manitoba.
Holland, Manitoba, man.
Connections to Treeherne. Wow.
Died in Thunder Bay, which we'll call the prairies.
It's like edge of the shield, not quite full shield.
That's exactly it, man.
That's sick, dude.
Cool.
Ken Leishman, shout out.
Should we get out of here for the week?
Yeah, maybe we should. That's
cool.
your story.
Quick shout out to Ashdown Market for having us again, man.
Absolute.
Here in the Exchange, Luci's Comedy Club in the back here. Zellers.biz for tickets.
That's what the stage is.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic venue. Big shout out to our producer, Tim Gray.
Yep.
For letting us use this space, for building this space, and for helping us put on this podcast. And
follow us on Instagram, prairie.dogs.
Prairie.Dogs.
Follow us, like and subscribe on YouTube.
Like and subscribe on YouTube.
It's whatever that. I think it's also prairie.dogs. Probably.
Absolutely.
And if not, it's Prairie Dawgs podcast. It'll be, you'll find it. If you're watching this, you've already found it. So just like and subscribe it.
Hell yeah.
And what else? I guess that's about it. Find
That
us
is
on
not
Instagram.
it. That is not it. It is Tyler Kotowski's birthday today.
That's
how
true.
How old are you, buddy?
I think I'm 32.
32 years old.
Yeah.
Over the
thanks
halfway mark.
Thanks for hopping in. Yeah, I got about halfway to go.
Yeah, you got about 6 years left.
God willing. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna steal a plane and crash it and fake my death.
Totally. And people will call him the, what was he doing, bandit? Why did he do that?
The lasagna bandit.
The lasagna bandit.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys.
Thanks for checking us out. We'll see you guys next week.
Do it next week. Same place, same time.
Same place, same damn time. Subscribe, like, all that crap.
Okay, bye.
Love you.
Love
Bye.
you.